I have a relationship with Wally Pfister. I guess this will be like the fifth movie I've worked on with Wally. The first uh, with Wally as director, but we worked together on the Batman movies and on Inception when he was Chris Nolan's DP. So, I got on brilliantly with him during those movies, and consider him a pal. And it was kind of obvious that he was heading towards directing. He was kind of ready to go, and so I was thrilled to hear that he was doing his own movie. And then he called me up and he said, "Look, there's this part, and would you be interested?" And I was like, "Absolutely, man, count me in." And you want to work with people that you admire and people you have a relationship with. And he's such a tremendous DP, but also just a tremendous communicator, and it proved to be a wonderful director as well. What's wonderful about the script is that it portrays all of the different arguments and all of the different sides very fairly. And I guess Buchanan represents the government, and the FBI, what or how would the government react in a situation like this if this were to happen. And we wanted to, obviously he has to toe that government line, but I think he's a smart kid. He's come up perhaps through, like, I don't know, Berkeley, or like then went to Google, and then got recruited by the FBI. And so he knows all this tech side of the world, of that world, very well. And I think that's, nowadays we can see what's happening in the world nowadays. People need to be so up on for security on technology and all. But I think we wanted to imbue him with he has some sort of objectivity on the thing, despite being, representing the government. And I think towards the end of the movie, you begin to see that he begins to think for himself a bit more. He doesn't really understand the scale of what's happened. There's been an attack on Will Castor, and he's kind of investigating that initially, and then this rift conspiracy emerges, and then the whole sort of transcendence thing evolves, and so he goes deeper and deeper into it, and I think finds himself working with people that he didn't necessarily think he'd be working with, and then, as I say, his conscience, I think, becomes kind of is called into question as the film progresses. In general terms, it's a very smart blockbuster. I mean, it has all the elements that a good blockbuster should have. I mean, it's got thriller aspects, and it's got set pieces, and it's got an amazing cast, and but it also, I hope, makes you think, and asks questions of the audience. And I think, given the movies that Wally has worked on over the years, he's got a good pedigree in that. Questions that, or films that presuppose a level of intelligence in the audience, and I think this movie does. And yeah, it talks a lot about what's happening with technology in our world, and what it means to us as individuals and as a society, and how far are we going to let that impact on our lives, and can we control it, and all of those questions. So, you can watch it on that level, or you can watch it as a very entertaining sci-fi film as well. And they're the sort of films that I enjoy. It's an extraordinary cast, really. I mean, kind of a dream cast, and for me to work with all of these guys has been such a pleasure. Johnny Depp has been a hero of mine, since I was a kid. Before I ever wanted to be an actor, to actually get to do scenes with him was, a real honor. And people like Paul Bettany and Rebecca Hall, just tremendous actors who've worked I've admired over the years also. And then Morgan, who I'd never actually worked with, but or done scenes with, we've been in films together, and he's such a legend. And what's lovely about it is that the atmosphere on set is so warm, and so everyone's so chilled out, and so it's a lovely atmosphere to work in. What people like about films like this is that it's not like, it's the not too distant future. People, because everything looks the same, everything appears the same, but so this could be happening now or tomorrow. So I think people that appeals to people because they go, this could happen to me, this could happen to you. There could be this technology could be being developed as we speak. It probably is. So that's what makes it compelling.